thanks for joining me, your sports pilot James Glory, on another exciting episode of Sport 5 on DNTWOK, where we bring you exciting and latest sport happenings across the world of sport every Tuesday, as is our tradition to do so. This week won't be an exception, so I would implore you to please stay tuned because we'll be right back shortly after this break. Welcome back. It's a beautiful Tuesday. As you all know, that league football will be starting this week. Starting from Friday, we'll be witnessing the Premier League, we'll be witnessing the La Liga, and so many European competition in the world of football. But before then, you know that we'll be witnessing the Super Cup between the winners of the UEFA Champions League and the winners of the Europa League, which is going to be between Paris Saint-Germain and Tottenham Hotspur. But before then, we have to have a quick recap on the transfer windows of players' performance so far before the season and positions where teams look to strengthen before the beginning of the season or probably before the end of the transfer window. We start from Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal Football Club looks to be stuck in their team right now with their strength in their defense. They have so many defenders that could play in those positions. We know that we already have Gabriel, we have the likes of Saliba playing in that defense line, we have the likes of Ben White playing for them in the defense line, and the problem of Arsenal Football Club so far before the season has been in the striking role, and they were able to get the signature of Victor Gyokeres, who has scored his first goal for Arsenal as the friendly match that he had at the Emirates Stadium. Gyokeres hitting the ground running before the very day that he will be facing one of his suitors, Manchester United, in the very opening match of the Premier League for Arsenal Football Club against Manchester United. Gyokeres scoring his goal, and let's see if he will be able to hit the ground running from the very first start of the Premier League season. And you talk about the rival that I just mentioned, Manchester United, being able to get the striker that Arsenal Football Club has been sorting to get since 2 years ago. They were able to seal the signature of Benjamin Sesko. Manchester United over the transfer window has been slow up until now, where they have secured the signature of Brian Mbeumo and Benjamin Sesko. The striker has completed his move to Old Trafford, who has also renovated their new training ground. We talk about clarity, they have been able to get the signature of Sesko, and he probably will be getting his debut against his suitors also, Arsenal Football Club. What a switch in the transfer window. It's quite an interesting one. You know that at some point Arsenal were seeking to get Benjamin Sesko, and it looks as Victor Gyokeres might be reuniting with his former manager Ruben Amorim. But a switch in play for the players, as one chose Manchester United and the other has chosen to go to Arsenal Football Club. These are strikers that will be seen often in the Premier League this season. They will be making the differences for their various teams in the Premier League. And also talking about the arch rival of Manchester United, we talk about Manchester City, who have secured so many players. Though Manchester City didn't have so many pre-season competition just because of the Club World Cup that they played, but they were also able to play a little well. So they brought Alan scoring in their first Premier League match, and we also saw their new signing from AC Milan being able to find the back of the net twice. Manchester City, you know, they have signed so many players, and the likes of Sheki, they have been able to sign another one in person of Reinders, who scored a brace in his debut for Manchester City at the pre-season. But you can take nothing away from Manchester City, who has been getting so many players, and this time around they were also able to move on player that they bought in the January transfer window. Where we talk about Victor Reyes, Manchester City have their way of getting off signings that they don't want in the Premier League. They just signed this player January and they are moving him on to Girona in the summer is a sad one for the player who committed to play for Manchester City. But you think Manchester City would be doing anything wrong as they'll be selling their young talent or loaning him out to Girona? But also there has been speculation concerning the future of Jack Grealish, that he will be moving down to Everton. Could we be seeing another move to Everton as David Moyes is looking to strengthen his side ahead of the Premier League transfer window? So many things has happened in the transfer window, and so many things is yet to happen, as we all know that Tottenham Hotspur has also shown interest in signing Savio from Manchester City. This looks as if his career in Manchester City could be off, and all decisions are up to Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, as Tottenham are looking to strengthen their team under their new manager. We talk about Thomas Frank, who will be facing Paris Saint-Germain at the Super Cup finals to decide who will be the major winner between the Champions League winner and the Europa League winner. Quickly, let's go on a very short break, and when we're right back, we continue right from where we stop.
JK Royal Signatures, a blend of African fabric.
Welcome back, and continue from where we stopped. We talk about the reigning champion in the Premier League, as we know that they were defeated by Crystal Palace in the Community Shield competition that always precede the Premier League season. It was the match between the FA Cup winners and the Premier League winners, and we saw Crystal Palace coming from behind twice to be able to win that particular one. It was an erotic at the Wembley Stadium to be able to secure that victory for Crystal Palace. But you can take nothing away from Mateta and also Ismail Assar, who were able to find the back of the net for the Crystal Palace side to be able to win the Community Shield in their first action. They have become the second team to be able to do so after Nottingham Forest to be able to win the Community Shield just at the first time of asking. So many dramatic events happened in the Community Shield, as we also witnessed the new boys for Liverpool making the difference. You know that before now I said so many players are looking forward to making a difference in their team at the beginning of the season, but we also saw that Liverpool players in the likes of Freeborn and Nketiah were able to find the back of the net in their real debut for Liverpool, and this means that they have already hit the ground running and proven Liverpool right and giving them the good reasons for signing them in the Liverpool team. Is an interesting one for them, as we knew that Freeborn was able to score a goal that looks as if it was a cross, but just after 4 minutes Nketiah was able to silence his haters and rivals, scoring a goal, the opening goal at the Community Shield. An interesting one was that Mateta was able to score a penalty from the spot to get a goal for Crystal Palace, and the match at halftime ended 2-1 in favor of Liverpool. But at the final hand, the match was extended to a penalty shootout, where we saw Crystal Palace scoring and winning in the penalty shootout. Mohamed Salah is yet to score a goal at the Wembley Stadium after 8 consecutive appearances at the Wembley stage. It's a sad one for him also, as he was unable to find the back of the net. McAllister losing his penalty, but Crystal Palace was able to get through the erotic of Dean Henderson, saving 2 penalties for them to be able to win their second trophy in the year 2025. An interesting one for their manager. We'll talk about Oliver Glasner, who was able to win the FA Cup in a difficult final against Man City, and decisively he was also able to win the Community Shield against Liverpool. These are 2 giants in the Premier League last 2 seasons. Manchester City was able to win it. Last season, we saw Liverpool winning the Premier League, and Oliver Gracia's side in Crystal Palace has been able to defeat these two giants in the finals at the Wembley Stadium. Crystal Palace taking nothing away from Ebere Chukwueze, who also has speculations that he could be moving down to Arsenal Football Club. The Premier League is just going to be so interesting this season as teams are stacking up their squad to contend for the Premier League title and contend for every other competitions available to them in the world of football. Is an interesting one. Also, as we talk about another team, Tottenham Hotspur, you remember that James Maddison was back at some point, but now he is injured in the midfield of Tottenham Hotspur. What should Tottenham Hotspur do? Though they have gotten the signature of Kudus from West Ham United, should they sign more players in that position, or should they look to strengthen their back line ahead of the Premier League this season? Is going to be a tough one. Who will be finishing at the top of the Premier League this season? Though Liverpool looks as if they have signed so many players they have been able to sign for, and which they have been able to sign Nketiah, who makes a difference in the Community Shield, and Frimpong, who was able to find the back of the net in the Community Shield. And if you ask me, I think Liverpool needs to get a defender to be able to compete with the likes of Ibrahim Konate and Van Dijk at the heart of the midfield. These players needs to rest, and at some points they need competition to get their team straight. You remember that Kekes is fond of going to the front, and we have Frimpong, who also is an attacking-minded defender. This would expose the likes of Konate and Van Dijk at the defense line of Liverpool. Liverpool just need to get a defender. Maybe they'll be able to sign McGahee from Crystal Palace after he was able to defeat Isuto Liverpool in the finals of the Community Shield. What should they do going forward? But as Chelsea Football Club, as we all know, are currently the world champion, and they have proven the reasons why they are world champions, as their squad depth is very strong. We have seen João Pedro scoring another goal against AC Milan in their friendly match, and we also saw Delap scoring an incredible goal and also converting from the penalty spot against AC Milan. These players has also made differences in the squad that they play, and let's see if they will be able to hit the ground running at the Premier League. Also, let's predict who will be winning the Premier League. This is the right time to predict on who will be winning the Premier League ahead of the season. Could it be Liverpool? Could it be Manchester City? Could it be Chelsea? Could it be Arsenal? Could it be Manchester United? Though it sounds hilarious, but I think Ruben Amorim and Manchester United have the players it takes to contend for the Premier League this season, as they won't be playing so many matches this season. They are not in the UEFA Champions League, nor are they in the Europa League. They will be playing the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and just the Premier League. And this looks as if they are just going to be playing one match per week, and let's see if they'll be able to rotate their players right. How will he be using Benjamin Sesko up front? Will be using Matthias Cunha? Will he be using Mbeumo? What is the preferred position for Bruno Fernandes, as there have been debate from players on where Bruno Fernandes should be playing? Should he continue to play Amad Diallo at the right wing back, or should he stick to Dalot or Mazraoui in that particular position? The January transfer signing where you talk about Patrick Doku has proven that he is good as the left side. Luke Shaw is back from injury for Manchester United. And this is the length at which will be going on this week episode of Sport Vibe on DNTWOK. For more news and sports stories, follow us across our various social media and do a Sport Vibe on DNTWOK. Enjoy your week, stay safe. Thank you.